news, but through TikTok and other social media. And I happen to be scrolling past this one woman's video. Her name is Ascension Cure. And man, I'm going to tag her. She talked about, and I have been thinking this, but I hadn't made a video on it yet. She said nothing would piss America off more than if Africa and Russia offered African Americans to come back to Africa and receive their reparations. And I'm going to add the 40 acres and a mule that we never got. Baby, imagine. Now, do I think that might happen? It's possible. And do I think America would let us go? Absolutely not. See, one thing we forget is this is all biblical. And wherever the children of Israel are, the blessing is there too. Now, if you remove the children of Israel, the blessing goes with them, leaving absolute wickedness behind. Now, I want to be clear on something. This is not about color at all. This is not about race. But I do not want anyone to get it twisted. We are not going to pretend like God does not have a people, which is stated in the Bible many a times. And those people are from the same family. And when you have family look alike, don't they? But we're going to skip past that because that's a whole lesson. Now, people of any race, culture, or color can be saved by Jesus Christ. Period, point blank. Now, there are wicked people no matter the color, and there are people of God no matter the color. Now, moving on. One thing I know that would immediately happen, price tickets for the planes would soar through the roof. All of a sudden, passports wouldn't be able to be issued. And I'm telling you, they would keep us here. It's a really familiar story. I can't.
Brakati Yahweh, Brakati Yahweh Shai, 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 Kohalagim La, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rechak Vadash. All right, first and foremost, I'd like to continue to give all honor and glory and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rechak Vadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, to all the Akim out there teaching and preaching this truth with 144% sincerity, to the men, women, and children listening and learning, the Akim and Akwath, and to the Bayesha Dabadad, the house of David. I'm Ayesha Tab with Mid of Valid, Las Vegas camp, coming to you through the will and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Salakia. As you have just seen in this video, all right, hey, this this woman right here, all right, hey, before we get into the lesson, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians, you are the true children of Israel, all right, that the Bible speaks of. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, as well as you speckled birds, whose father's line goes back to the nation of Israel. All right, as you hear this woman stated, hey, anybody can be saved. Yeah, anybody can be saved through Jesus Christ. All right, which is a fairy tale, a fable. All right, there is no soundness and there is no salvation. There's a false salvation. All right, hey, there's many things on this video that can go into. All right, this is, Lord willing, this is an edifying video. I might do a part 2, but nevertheless, let me just get into this video. All right, this woman right here is, spreading delusion, right? Spreading delusion and is making herself out to be something more than what she is, all right? You so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, and Seminole Indian women, as well as you speckled birds whose father's line goes back, all right? If you have the blessing, all right, to be a woman of the nation of Israel, there is a way that you must conduct yourself, okay? And let's go ahead and start. It's going to be in the book of 1 Timothy. It's like in 1 Timothy chapter 2 and verse, we're going to start at verse 12. Let's just get to it. And it reads, "But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence." Right. Yahweh Hashem Yahushai commands you, so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, Seminole Indian, as well as you speckled birds, all right, whose father's line goes back to a so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, and Seminole Indian man. All right, you women of the nation of Israel, first and foremost, are supposed to learn in silence and supposed to be silent. All right, not supposed to be on these social medias trying to have a platform speaking of anything, especially biblical, about what you know. Okay? This is an offense unto Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Hey, and it is a disrespect and disgrace unto your nation. All right? The things that you are allotted to do, you can't even do. All right? But here it is, you so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, and Seminole Indian, and you speckled bird women want to get on social media and continue, hey, to talk about anything and everything, all right? And then trying to put, hey, scriptures in with it, all right? Or trying to teach and hold class, all right, on the scriptures. If you believe in the Bible is giving you a clear direction what to do. All right, and it is to be silent, sit down, and learn. All right, you learn from the men of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. And if you don't want to accept that, you're only leading yourself to destruction. Okay? Let's go to the book of Job. It's going to be the book of Job. It's going to be chapter 39 and verse 17, and it reads, Slakia, let me start at 16, and it reads, She is hardened against her young ones as though they were not hers. Right. This is talking about you women, so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, and Seminole Indian women, as well as you women who are speckled birds, whose father's line goes back. All right? You are hardened against your young ones. Here it is. You have jobs of being a mother, and 85% of you women can't even be the mother that your child needs. Okay? You're allotted to be a wife, and 80% of educated women leave their husbands, despite if he was a good man or not. Okay? Continuing on. Her labor is in vain without fear. Right. You women have no fear. All right? You think it is all right to go ahead and do what it is that you want to do when it's not permitted by Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Okay? Verse 17. And it reads, Because Yahweh Hashem Yahushai have departed her of wisdom, neither hath he imparted unto her understanding. All right? So especially when you go out here on these platforms and you speak anything biblical, all right, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is not permitting you to do it. All right? And if you have learned from a man of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, all right, and you know what you're talking about, you understand the scriptures that were broken down unto you, you watch the apostles, starting with Apostle Tahar, Apostle Gabar, Apostle Ramla, Apostle Rakah, and you receive the word, all right, from the apostles and the elders and the bishops and the men, all the way to his newest brother, a teaching the 100% doctrine. If you receive it, okay, and you understand it, and then you go out and try to teach it, you're out of order. And then you clearly don't understand what the scriptures are saying, because it told you to be quiet. Stay at home. All right? It's not permitted for you to talk about anything biblically on a platform. All right? And then she goes on to say it's another lesson for another time. All right? Hey, you don't have a lesson. You weren't permitted to give a lesson. All right? Salakia. I've just seen too many of these videos and it's just kind of vexing. All right? Hey, this is going to be the book of 1 Corinthians. It's going to be chapter 14. Salakia. Flip too far. Give me 1 second. It's going to be 1 Corinthians chapter 14. And we're going to start at verse 34, and it reads, Salakia. And it reads, and the spirit of the prophets are subject to the prophets. For Yahweh is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as all churches of the saints. Right? Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is not the author of confusion, all right, but of peace. All right? And Yahweh sent his prophets, men. All right? His tabernacle is with men. All right? The prophets of old have always been men. Not to say that a woman can't prophesy, not to say she can't have a dream, all right? But for the work of the prophets to be done are of men, all right? It is Yahweh Bashem Yahushai's will that men, all right, his tabernacle are of men. All right, continuing on. Here's a point in verse 34, and it reads, this is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 14 and verse 34. Let your women keep silent in the church, for it is not permitted unto them to speak, but they are commanded to be under obedience, as also saith the law. All right, so the law of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, the law of the Bible, all right, King James 16:11 permits you not to speak in the church, all right, and to congregate or to do a lesson out of the Bible amongst men, all right, you are not permitted. The church is a body of men, all right? To get on a platform and to teach anything out of the Bible, you are trying to hold church. All right, you are trying to do a biblical scriptural lesson, which is not permitted for you to do, to teach anyone. All right, you are not to teach anyone other than your children. All right, at home, you're not to teach anyone other than other women. All right, who have a question, but what is she to do? She is supposed to learn from her husband at home. All right, or from a man of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right, I'm going to read down. Here's verse 35, and it reads, and if they will learn anything, let them ask their husbands at home. For it is a shame for women to speak in the church. All right, it is a shame. All right, you're bringing shame unto yourself, and you're bringing shame unto our nation. Be silent. All right? Step into your blessing and what your blessing is. Be a pillar of rest unto your husband if you have one. If you don't have one, be silent and pray to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai that he sends you a husband. All right? Or wait until that great day that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Yahweh sends Yahushai to deliver us. Be silent, all right, in the church. Stop getting on these TikToks, YouTube, so on and so forth, and saying anything about the Bible, trying to teach anything about the Bible, if it's not giving praise and honor to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, if it's not giving shalom's slakia and edifying lesson, elders, edifying lesson, brother. All right? If it's nothing other than that, hey, don't say anything. Be in silence. This is the book of Timothy. Slakia. This is the book of Titus. It's going to be Titus chapter 2. And it's going to, Slakia, start at verse 3. And it reads, "The aged woman likewise, that they be in behavior as becoming holiness." All right? Becoming holiness. Not false accusers, nor giver to much wine, teachers of good things. All right? And this is what your job is, to be a teacher of good things. What are the good things? All right? As we had just spoken about, for you to do as Yahweh Bashem Yahushai has commanded you to do under the law. Not permitted for you to speak in church. All right, brothers putting up these videos, all right, these epistles, this is the body of the church. This is the work of the church of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right, and if you claim to be of Israel, or if you know anything that you are Israel, all right, then you need to start studying and study under the tutelage of a man of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, starting with Apostle Tahar, Apostle Gabar, Apostle Ramla, Apostle Rakah, the elders and the bishops and the men teaching the same 100% truth doctrine coming out of GMS. It is not permitted for you to speak on any such matters. Let me start over. This is the book of Titus chapter 2 and verse 3, and it reads, "The aged woman likewise, that they be behaved as becoming holiness, not false accusers, not givers to much wine, teachers of good things, that they may teach young women to be sober, to love their husbands," to love their husband, to love their children, to be discreet, chasten, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai be not blasphemy. All right, so there's no blasphemy, that is supposed to be taught by you. All right, and you trying to teach is absolute blasphemy to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and it is not permitted for you women to do. So stop getting on the social media, stop getting on your TikToks, stop getting on your YouTube pages, and trying to teach anything about the Bible. All right, if it's not telling a woman to be a better woman and how to be a better woman, okay, it is not permitted for you to do. Do not talk about anything else other than what concerns a woman of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right, and is, sis, you should go and check out these brothers' pages. You should check out the apostles' pages. They have great lessons. All right, you are not supposed to try to teach yourself or say anything that is of the scriptures that is completely asinine. All right, and it is bringing a shame unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. If you have a husband, it is bringing a shame unto him as well. All right, but you are shaming our nation. Learn in silence. Be quiet. All right, Lord willing, this was edifying. I want to give all honor and glory and praise unto Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai Ba'Hashem Rakah Kadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, to all the Akim out there teaching and preaching this truth with 144% sincerity, to the men, women, and children listening and learning, the Bayasha double dot. To the next time, say Shalom, Wad, Abal, Babal. Call me Asherala. All right, if it applies, let it stick. If it doesn't, let it roll off. Shalom.